Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Jimmy Dore Show. I'm here with Ron Placone and the Miserable Liberal.
Hello.
Howdy, howdy.
So we're talking about the statues, and we're talking about the Confederate statues, and you know the difference between a George Washington statue and a statue of Robert E. Lee. Well, if you don't, the mayor of New Orleans is going to tell you. This is pretty awesome, and I think it's 2 minutes long, so I think we should watch it.
These statues are not just stone and metal. They're not just innocent remembrances of a benign history. These monuments celebrate a fictional, sanitized Confederacy, ignoring the death, ignoring the enslavement, ignoring the terror that it actually stood for. And after the Civil War, these monuments were part of that terrorism, as much as burning a cross on someone's lawn. They were erected purposefully to send a strong message to all who walked in the shadows about who was still in charge in this city. This is not about a naive quest to solve all of our problems at once. This is, however, about showing the whole world that we as a city, that we as a people are able to acknowledge, to understand, to reconcile, and more importantly, choose a better future for ourselves, making straight what has been crooked and making right what was wrong. This is not just about statutes, this is about attitudes. And it's about behaviors as well. If we take down these statutes and don't change to become a more open and inclusive society, then all of this would have been in vain. Let us again state clearly for all to hear. The Confederacy was on the wrong side of history and humanity. It sought to tear apart our nation and subjugate our fellow Americans to slavery. This is a history we should never forget, and one that we should never, ever again put on a pedestal to be revered. As a community, we must recognize the significance of removing New Orleans' Confederate monuments. It is our acknowledgement that now is a time to take stock of and then move past a painful part of our history. Anything less would render generations of courageous struggle and soul-searching a truly lost cause. Otherwise, we will continue to pay a price with discord, with division, and, violence.
I thought that was pretty awesome. What do you think?
Yeah. And he's absolutely right. I mean, first of all, the George Washington false equivalency that our president parroted is something that you hear from white supremacists, because it's like, well, no, this is a Confederate monument. Robert E. Lee is only a face of the Confederacy, and they were put up to remind people, like he said, who's in charge. Same thing with the Confederate flag. Like, oh, no, that was a battle flag that was later readopted by groups like the KKK, so it was meant as an emblem of racism, an emblem to remind you that, you're still not one of us.
Right.
Black people that fought or black people that did this, you're still not one of us. That's what those emblems are really about.
George Washington, when he says George Washington, Thomas Jefferson was slave owners, we still have monuments to them. Yeah, but we don't have monuments to their slave owning, right? We don't have that, because that's all a Confederate statue is. You're putting on a pedestal this horrible ideology of white supremacy. That's what that is. And we don't have statue. FDR cheated on his wife. We don't have a statue of him for it. You know what I mean? We have a statue of him for good things he did. We don't have a statue of him banging his lover, right? Which you have statues of Robert E. Lee on his horse leading a charge to go in there to fight for racism. So that would be the difference. Yeah.
And you know who makes those false equivalencies? White supremacists.
White supremacists.
That's who makes those, by the way, that our president made.
I thought it was also interesting, Jimmy, adding to this, that the Baltimore leadership, they took down several Confederate statues in the middle of the night.
Yes.
And I think, you know what, if you can diminish the amount of conflict and violence in your community, and that they came together to do that, I thought that was pretty strong. And I hope to see more people do that.
I do too. I say it's good. This is a good thing. That's a great speech. It really wow, he's good. It's very good.
Yeah, that was a really good summary. I mean, he kind of nailed it.
Yes.
Yeah, he kind of nailed that. And
very articulate.
I'm a big fan of the New Orleans accent, too. I think it's a really cool
I didn't even notice he had an
You didn't
accent.
notice it? Oh, man.
Well, I know they say New Orleans. They don't say New Orleans. They say Nolans.
Yeah.
And got to get that etouffee down there.
Yeah, it's
you
so
want that,
cool sounding.
Yeah, can I just get a hamburger? You want the shrimp on a hamburger? You want the... No, I just want a hamburger. You want etouffee? No, I don't. I just want... You want crab on that? No!
See, I would say yes to all those questions. All those questions you just said no to.
Yeah.
I would be saying yes to all of them. You want to have to? Of course I do.
You want oyster
yes.
sauce? You want oyster sauce?
You want to
on
be?
that?
Yes, of course. You want some gumbo? Yes.
Yes.
If we're yes.
I do love New Orleans. We might do a show down there pretty soon. So there you go. That's great. Everybody should see that. Pass it around. That's what a president should sound like. This guy here. That's what a president should sound like. But
These statutes are not just stone and metal. They're not.
they're not. Okay. Way to go, Mayor. Mayor Mitch Landrieu. Any relation to Mary Landrieu? We'll have to wait.